So in case this is your first video in this series, I've been looking at RideShares in Trinidad. And so far, I've looked at 3 local rideshare companies. Seeing we have quite a bit to talk about, let's take a dive into what Drop Ride has to offer. So disclaimer, the information I'm about to present is as of March 2021. So if you're looking at this video and it's after March 2021, you're going to want to verify that information on their social media platforms, their application, and their website. So I'm on Drop's website and we could see that they are a multifaceted company consisting of Drop Ride, Food Drop, and Drop Hub. But for the purposes of this video, I'm more interested in looking at Drop Ride. So Drop has been in existence since 2016 and they let you know that you can pre-book over the phone from Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and app and website bookings can be made 24 hours a day. Their number is 866-DROP. In checking out their pricing structure, you see that 0 to 6 kilometers it's $1.25, 6 to 20 kilometers $3, over 20 kilometers $3.50, and per minute it's 75 cents, all in TT dollars. So a cancellation fee of $20 is applied if you cancel 5 minutes after a booking is confirmed and accepted by drivers. However, this fee is not applied if you cancel within 5 minutes of that booking being accepted by the driver. But these cancellation fees for cash customers will be charged to your account. So I'm assuming that the next time that you request a ride with Drop, you're actually going to have to pay for that time that you cancelled prior to. And the cancellation charges for credit card customers will be charged immediately to your credit card. So Drop maintains the original pricing structure for their pre-booking options. And if we scroll down and we look at the simple table that they have, we're going to realize that they split a portion of Trinidad into zones 1 to 5. And when we look at that, we see that travel within a zone is maintained at a minimum cost of $40. But as I browse the chart, I'm seeing that costs spanning multiple zones like zone 2 to zone 5 go as high as $230. I guess that's a maximum cap that they have based on their geographic locations. But it's interesting as we go further to see how they classify these zones. So we see that zone 1 is Cocorite to South Key, and that's it on the map. And then we head west of that to zone 2, which is Chaguaramas to Cocorite. And then east of zone 1 we have South Key to Nestle Crossings as zone 3. Zone 4 we have Nestle Crossings to Trinity Mall. And then as zone 5 we have Trinity Mall to Arima. But here's something interesting. The description of each zone does not demarcate how far north and south they expand. So you have to actually zoom into the map to kind of gauge where the boundary lines with these zones end. And I'm really interested in finding out how does pre-booking work, if at all, for areas outside of these pre-assigned zones. So a cancellation fee of $40 will be charged to customers if you cancel a pre-booked ride within 1 hour of the scheduled pickup time. So bearing in mind that you could do a pre-booking 2 hours before the time that you need the ride, if 1 hour after that you need to cancel it, you can without a charge. But if the time frame to the pickup is less than 1 hour, $40 is going to be charged, and it's the same principle where cash customers will be charged on to their account and credit card customers will be charged immediately. So I head over to the FAQ to get some more information on payment options, and what I realize is that Drop only allows for 2 forms of payment, so passengers could pay via credit card or pay drivers cash directly. There appears to be no prepayment options for Drop. So they apparently have an hourly hire option. So for customers who wish to hire a driver, I guess it's not a set route, you can hire a driver for a minimum of 2 hours at a rate of $175 per hour based on availability, and be charged $175 per hour exceeding that 2-hour minimum. But this service is only available for booking via the dispatch center during office hours, so it's not available for booking on the app. So remember, earlier I would have mentioned that one of the booking options is their website. I did not see any option for booking a rideshare service on their website. I did see things for their food drop service. So on Drop Ride's page, I click on passenger safety. I want to see what safety features exist with this company. And they remind you that 866 Drop is a toll-free call. It's a free call to order your ride. And they let you know that in the app you could see the photo of your driver and their car, the car registration plate, and track their distance. But the video doesn't seem to work to explain that. So as is customary, they just talk about their driver screening and I guess onboarding process. And that's basically it for what they have to offer according to the website for safety. Okay, so let's get to the app. And you'll have to give location permission and access to your phone contacts to go through the number verification process. Next, you'll be required to give basic information like your name and your email address. After that, you'll be asked to submit a photograph of a national ID card. Now, this was kind of interesting because they didn't say anything about rider verification. So I had an image of my ID card on my phone already, so I just uploaded it from there. And after giving the relevant permissions, I saw that the aspect ratio of the image was a square, so you could just zoom into the photo on the ID. I chose to keep my payment option as cash. So I'm ready to request my ride. I enter my address and destination. So I see a fare estimate and I'm given the option to select how many passengers will be traveling in this ride. At this point, I'm waiting for the driver to accept the booking. So the driver has accepted the ride and he's on his way, and I want you to compare his actual time of arrival, the estimated time of arrival, with the time that is on the top right hand corner of my phone's screen. In addition to that, the information on the app, I could see the make and model of his vehicle, I could see his license plate number, I'm seeing a picture of the color of the vehicle, but I cannot see a picture of the driver, nor can I see his name. But I am seeing options to chat with the driver, call the driver, and perhaps to share a link of his location. So I can't see my phone's location in relation to the cab on the app, but it was pretty much more or less moving in real time. The taxi was clean, and I guess the driver, in his talkative own way, was trying to make us feel comfortable. So there's no dedicated safety feature in the app, but there is a track link button within the app. When I do expand the info section, I could see the driver's first name, but I still can't see his picture. It should be okay. Alright, thank you. So after the ride ends, the app allows me to leave a driver rating. So let's talk about booking and pre-booking options. Drop Ride gives you 3 options to book: the phone, app, and website. So booking via phone answers the question that I've asked since I started this series, which is, do you need a smartphone? Do you need the application to book a ride? And the answer to that is no, but there's a catch. Their call centers are only open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and on Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So outside of those hours, like on a Sunday or a Saturday after 2 p.m., you're not going to be able to book a ride via phone. So the remaining options are their app and their website. And the third option that the website advertises is booking rides on the website. However, when I went onto the website and I clicked on Drop Ride and I looked everywhere, I did not see an option to book a rideshare service on their website. I saw options to book food drop, which is their food delivery and ordering service. That was the only thing I saw to request any type of service from them on their website. So I don't want to say that it's misleading, but I was not able to find anywhere to book a taxi rideshare service on their website. And when I took to Instagram to ask them, I don't know if it was yesterday or 2 days ago, up till the point of recording this video, I didn't get a response. So their social media platforms and their direct messaging seems to probably be tied into their office hours for their phone-in service. I am to assume, but it was a little bit inefficient in that regard. So Drop Ride has 2 options basically for pre-booked rides. One of them being the hourly hire and the other being pre-booking, the actual pre-booking service that they have. So hourly hire, as I would have mentioned, is you hire a driver for an hour and you pay an hourly rate of $175. So what I'm assuming here is there is no limit to the distance within that time frame of an hour. So that might be a good option if you have multiple stops, or if you have like a longer run to make. You could probably look at that option. And I don't need to go into any more detail about the pre-booking option. It's based on zones. It really spans from Chaguaramas in the west to Arima. That are the only zones that they have for pre-booking. So you may want to factor in between the hourly hire and between the pre-booking to see which one fits your needs better. But you need to remember that these rides could only be booked up to 2 hours before the ride. Actually, I don't know about hourly rides. I don't know if the same pre-booking rule applies. So just bear in mind you're also limited to the Monday to Friday office hours and the Saturday 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to book that ride. But I like the fact that they're upfront about the pricing. You know exactly what you're paying for with these two pre-booking options. So Drop has quite a few riding options, but these options were not advertised on their website, apart from the rolling graphic that is on the Drop Ride page. I actually found these options in the app when I click view all in suggested rides. It like expands the existing option there is, and it lists all of them. So there is taxi, pre-book taxi, delivery, taxi van, which is the 7-seater option, and taxi premium. And this raises for me two questions. So I'm wondering if the pricing structure that they would have put out earlier includes the 7-seater option as well as the taxi premium, or if that cost actually varies. And we went into the long thing about zones and set pricing structures. So now it begs the question, if I could pre-book a ride outside of these zones, or if I pre-book a ride in the app, what is the pricing structure that is going to be applied? So let's talk about rider verification. And this was part of the registration process within Drop Ride's application itself. And you couldn't move forward in the registration process until you uploaded a picture of your ID. But in retrospect, I am to assume that they just wanted a picture of you because, one, I showed you that the aspect ratio was a square, and you know ID cards are like similar to a landscape paper. So I don't know if you just uploaded a regular selfie of yourself, if it would have been accepted. And I am to assume that because as soon as I uploaded it, it didn't seem that there was anyone on Drop Ride's end that was actually verifying that information, that the image was actually an identification. I just think they needed a form of facial recognition or reference. So I don't think you actually need it, and you don't have to, if you zoom in adequately, you wouldn't be giving away anything like your signature or the name that is on your ID card. So the driver's estimated time of arrival was 10 minutes and his actual time of arrival was 11 minutes. So it's close, and in the previous reviews that I've done, we talk about how most of them use the Google Maps platform and the differences and the variations with traffic and data and updating and all that stuff that accounts for the variances in time. But 10 minutes is still a long time, because if you'd recall, when I opened the app, there weren't much taxis to choose from. I think on my screen I saw 2 taxis, and this driver left St. James to come to Movie Town to accept the ride. So as we're on the topic of availability, what I forgot to mention previously was the availability in Tobago. So I did take to Instagram a long while before that, and I mean I had to wait a while for them to actually respond, but they did, and they said that they have limited availability in Tobago currently. So in terms of safety features, let me first start with the information that is on the app. There was no picture of the driver, and you would have seen that the website, they boast that you could see the driver's picture, you could see his face. That doesn't turn out to be true, at least in my case it wasn't. In addition to that, you only see the driver's first name. Now in an instance with me, you only have a first name and no picture, so that could be anybody, especially if he has a generic name like Alex or Sean or John. And there is no dedicated safety feature, no branded safety feature, no distinctive button within the application to select to perhaps call 999 in app or alert your emergency contacts, but there is a link to track your location, and I did try it. I'm going to talk more about it later, but at least for the purposes of this video, just know that you could send your live location via this link to your contacts. But all in all, I'm kind of apprehensive about what they have to offer with respect to safety, especially since I took the time to upload an image of myself and gave it to them. I'm assuming the driver has access to that. Yet they didn't hold true on their promise of showing me the driver's space on the app, so I feel I was shortchanged in that regard. And again, questions carried over from the previous episodes in this series. I have to ask, what SOS or safety features are available to riders who call in to request a ride? And what access to safety features, or at least this tracking application, can riders who use the app but don't have data at the time of their ride have? So in terms of cost, the duration of the ride was 7 minutes and I paid $27. That is $2 more than the base fare. And interestingly enough, I don't recall seeing any buttons to tip the driver, but perhaps that was because I didn't select credit card as my default mode of payment. And as we're on the topic of payment, I really think that they need to add a prepayment option. So as I do more and more of these rideshare companies, I'm asking myself different questions. And remember, in the last episode, I would have spoken about PH and H drivers and how they're not registered. Well, in this episode, I think I want to address the issue of insurance. And I'm really asking from a genuine place of wanting to get more information. So what I want to know is, insurance for a private car actually cover passengers? If I get in an accident in a rideshare taxi's car, will I be compensated by the driver's insurance? So guys, that brings us to the end of this review for Drop Ride. Thank you so much for making it to this point in the video. We have a long way to go. There are so many ride sharing companies here locally, and I really and truly want to compare them all. And I think as I do more and more companies, I have more and more questions that I have to ask, and I just hope that the information is really useful in helping you to make a decision. But even after I'm finished reviewing all of these companies, you're going to want to stick around again, because I'm going to compare the safety features head to head with all of the companies that I've looked at. And perhaps even after that, I'm going to summarize this entire series into a post on my blogging website. So you're going to want to stick around for all of that, because this is a lot of information to take in to make an informed decision. So guys, thanks again for making it to this point in the video, and until next time, bye.